Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Matt's Movie News. I've got three more topics for you guys, as always. And this is going to be sort of a comic booky, but not completely comic booky episode. Uh, so that being said, let's get right into it. The first topic I have for you today is that we have Ian McKellen playing Cogsworth in the upcoming Beauty and the Beast film. I've talked a little bit about the casting of Luke Evans playing Gaston, and Emma Watson playing Belle, and there's been a couple of other casting announcements, but this is one of the ones that stood out to me, was that Ian McKellen, the guy who played Gandalf and Magneto, is playing Cogsworth. And on one hand, I'm super excited that I get to see more Ian McKellen. I love that guy. He's awesome. He's a great actor, world class. But I'm not sure I see him so much as Cogsworth. I'm sure it'll turn out awesome in the end, but it feels like it's gonna be a different Cogsworth than was in the Beauty and the Beast cartoon. Because if nothing else, the Ian McKellen is sort of older and seems wiser than Cogsworth would be. But that being said, we'll see how that goes. And ultimately, it really just sort of makes me wonder who's gonna play Lumiere, because they haven't announced that yet. I don't think, at least not at the time I recorded this video. But I wonder who could be the counterpoint to Ian McKellen. Are they gonna get somebody who's like just as good? Well, I hope they get somebody who's anywhere near as good as him. But is it gonna be somebody who they're gonna need somebody who can play off of Ian McKellen without being overshadowed by him? Because Lumiere is never overshadowed by Cogsworth. And again, I think they're gonna be CGI. I think this is not going to be like people in costumes. I think you're going to get actual like little clocks and little candle stands. They're going to have CGI faces, and they're just going to do the voice work for it. Don't quote me on that because I don't know, but that's how I see it going. All right, my next piece of news. We have for XMen, not Age of Apocalypse, XMen Apocalypse, the next X-Men film. It is going to be about the first class cast, the younger cast, and it's going to take place in the 80s. And I forget the guy who plays him, but Professor X is going to have a bald head for this film. They have announced it. He is going to. I don't know what the story will be. I don't know if Professor X will have shaved his head, if there'll be some sort of nuclear accident. But ultimately, I think he's just going to sort of been going bald since we saw him. And I think that this young Xavier, because we've seen him with hair in the last couple movies, I think him going bald is just sort of a sort of way of subtly saying, this is the new guy who's going to be Xavier for like the next few films. Patrick Stewart was awesome. But ultimately, his chapter has sort of closed on X-Men. And not to say we'll never see him again if they do some more time loopy stuff. But I guess they felt like it was time for us to get more back to classic Professor X with this guy who's going to be playing with this younger cast that are going to be the X-Men moving forward for the foreseeable future. They're going to be the main X-Men anyway. So I feel like it's a good idea. I felt like it's time. We've had two films with him having hair. Now he's just going to be bald. And I hope it is just that he's just gone bald, and it's not some big event that made him bald. But I just felt like that. I feel like that's the more respectful way for it to be handled, because people do just actually go bald in real life. Now finally, and this is the biggest by far piece of news that I've got today, is the Civil War cast has been officially announced. For those of you who don't know, this is Captain America 3 Civil War. It is going to be in between Avengers 2 and 3. And it is going to be focused around Captain America, but the storyline is going to be similar to the Civil War storyline in the comics, where Captain America and Tony Stark have a disagreement, because apparently, according to the synopsis online, the world governments are sort of going to want superheroes to answer to them. like superheroes all have to answer to the government. Maybe not necessarily like Shield, because I'm not sure if Shield is still around in a big way after Captain America 2. But the superheroes will have to answer to them, as opposed to them sort of being on their own, like they have been so far. And Captain America will disagree with that and not want and think that superheroes should be like their own thing and a check on the government, because if the government gets corrupt, then that would mean automatically the superheroes get corrupt. And if the superheroes can't act as a balance against possibly corrupt governments, then that's what he wants them to be. At least that's what I think is going on. But as opposed to Tony Stark with Iron Man, and I think you can see that Iron Man has sort of become the sort of guy who would go along with all superheroes need to be in check, because he's seen what the Hulk can do. He's seen what Thor can do. He's seen what Ultron did. He's seen what he himself has done without somebody to sort of keep an eye on him. And I think that Tony Stark, and it's in the synopsis, Tony Stark does side with that. But I think it's a good move that Captain America is for, not for, I'm going to say freedom and oppression, but for, you can see who I might side with, but for superheroes being on their own, standalone force, and Tony Stark superheroes having somebody to answer to and not getting too powerful in and of their own right. And all of the Avengers and other superheroes will have to side with either Captain America or with Iron Man. And we have no idea who's going to side with who, and that'll be probably the most interesting thing about the movie, is who sides with who. But the official cast list was announced. We are going to have all the Avengers that were left at the end of Age of Ultron back: Scarlet Witch, Black Widow, Falcon, War Machine, and Vision, along with Captain America, of course, are all going to be in this film. Iron Man is coming back. Hawkeye is coming back, which is neat. He's coming back from his retirement. I mean, I guess that's just the gravity of the situation. And on top of that, we are getting Black Panther is going to show up in this film, and Black Panther is going to show up in this film. Ant-Man is going to be in this film, which, for those of you who don't know, in between Avengers 2 and Captain America Civil War, we're going to get an Ant-Man film. I'm sure you've already seen the trailer. But Ant-Man is going to be in Captain America Civil War, and also, and probably most interesting to me, Winter Soldier is going to be in Captain America Civil War. And I have no idea what role he's going to play, but that sounds like fun. So ultimately, this is going to be like Avengers 2.5. This, it's got all the Avengers plus possibly Spider-Man, although that has not been confirmed. I would love for Spider-Man to show up, because that's a good discussion for another day. But that is possible. But it's going to have all the Avengers except for Thor and Hulk, for reasons like that Hulk's, gone. Like Hulk is not around after the events of Avengers Age of Ultron, and Thor is obviously off on Asgard. So that's all the movie news I have for you guys today. Thank you for joining me. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Leave a like if you liked, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.